dim your light, to make yourself smaller so others feel more comfortable, to apologize for your ambition, your success, your natural strength. Stop. I see men everywhere walking on eggshells about their own capabilities. Successful men who downplay their achievements. Strong men who hide their strength. Leaders who apologize for making decisions. You've been conditioned to believe that owning your power makes you arrogant, that being strong makes you threatening, that succeeding makes you selfish. That's not true. That's programming designed to keep you small. Here's what I know. The world doesn't need weaker men. It needs stronger men who use their strength responsibly. It needs powerful men who lift others up instead of putting them down. Today we're talking about how to own your strength without apology, how to embrace your power without becoming what you hate, and how to lead from the front without leaving others behind. If you're tired of shrinking yourself to fit other people's comfort zones, this message is for you. Problem identification, 300 words, 2 minutes. Let me paint you a picture. You walk into a room and immediately scan for reactions. You have an idea in a meeting, but soften your language so you don't seem too assertive. You achieve something significant, but downplay it so others don't feel bad. You've been trained to manage other people's emotions at the expense of your own authenticity. This shows up everywhere. You make more money than your friends, so you pick up every dinner check and never mention your success. You're naturally good at sports, so you don't try your hardest because you don't want to embarrass anyone. You have strong opinions, so you phrase everything as questions instead of statements. You've confused being considerate with being invisible. Here's the deeper problem. When you constantly apologize for your strengths, you're not being humble. You're being dishonest. You're lying about who you are to make other people comfortable with their own limitations. And worse, you're teaching the people around you that strength is something to be ashamed of. Your kids watch you diminish yourself. Your colleagues learn that excellence should be hidden. Your friends start to believe that success requires apology. This isn't helping anyone. When you hide your light, you're not making the room brighter for others, you're making the whole room dimmer. The truth is, people don't need you to be weaker. They need you to show them what's possible. They need to see someone who owns their power and uses it to create value, solve problems, and make things better. Your strength isn't the problem. Your shame about your strength is the problem. Transformation framework, 850 words, 6 minutes. Here are 5 principles for owning your power without apology. These will help you be strong without being destructive, powerful without being oppressive. Principle 1, separate strength from ego. There's a difference between owning your power and being powered by your ego. One creates value, the other destroys it. Ego-driven strength says, I'm better than you. Authentic strength says, I'm committed to being my best. Ego needs to prove itself constantly. It compares, competes, and puts others down to feel superior. Authentic strength doesn't need external validation because it's focused on internal standards. Here's how to tell the difference. When you succeed, do you feel the need to make sure everyone knows about it? When others succeed, do you genuinely celebrate or do you feel threatened? Strong men celebrate other people's wins because they're not operating from scarcity. They know that someone else's success doesn't diminish their own potential. Practice this. When you achieve something, share it without comparing it to others. When someone else achieves something, congratulate them without mentioning your own accomplishments. Principle 2. Use your strength to lift others. The best use of power is helping other people discover their own power. This isn't about making people dependent on you. It's about making them stronger. In your career, this means mentoring younger colleagues instead of seeing them as threats. In your family, it means teaching your kids to be strong rather than protecting them from all challenges. In your friendships, it means challenging your friends to grow rather than enabling their excuses. This requires you to be secure enough in your own strength that you're not threatened by other people's growth. Weak people try to keep others weak because they're afraid of competition. Strong people create other strong people because they understand that rising tides lift all boats. Practical application. Instead of just doing things for people, teach them how to do things for themselves. Instead of just giving advice, ask questions that help them find their own answers. Principle 3. Own your achievements without minimizing them. Stop saying, "I got lucky," when you worked hard. Stop saying it was nothing when it was something. Stop deflecting compliments with jokes or self-deprecation. When someone acknowledges your success, say thank you. That's it. Not thank you but, or thank you however, just thank you. This isn't about bragging, it's about being honest about what you've accomplished and the work it took to get there. When you minimize your achievements, you're being dishonest about the effort, sacrifice, and dedication that created them. More importantly, you're teaching other people that success should be hidden, that achievement should be apologized for, that excellence should be minimized. Practice this. For the next week, when someone compliments your work, your appearance, or your character, simply say thank you and nothing else. Notice how uncomfortable this feels at first. That discomfort is your programming fighting against your authenticity. Principle 4. Set boundaries without explanation. Strong people say no without lengthy justifications. They set standards without apologizing for having them. They make decisions without needing everyone's approval. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your boundaries. No is a complete sentence. This doesn't work for me doesn't require a dissertation on why. When you over-explain your boundaries, you're essentially asking for permission to have them. This signals that they're negotiable, which means they're not really boundaries at all. This applies to your time, your energy, your resources, and your attention. You get to decide how to spend them. You don't need to justify those decisions to anyone except yourself. Practice this. The next time someone asks you to do something you don't want to do, say no without explaining why. Just, "I can't do that," or "that doesn't work for me." Notice how much mental energy you save by not crafting elaborate explanations. Principle 5. Lead from the front. If you have strength, use it to lead. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for a title. Don't wait for someone else to go first. Leading from the front means taking responsibility for outcomes, making difficult decisions, and being willing to be criticized for doing what you think is right. It means speaking up in meetings when everyone else is silent. It means taking action when everyone else is debating. It means setting the standard that you want others to follow. This doesn't mean being domineering or dismissing other people's input. It means being decisive when decisions need to be made, being clear when clarity is needed, and being strong when strength is required. The world has plenty of followers and critics. It's always short on leaders who are willing to take responsibility and move things forward. Practice this. In every group situation this week, be the person who asks, "What should we do next?" Be the person who volunteers to take the first step. Be the person who says, "I'll handle that." Implementation strategy. Choose one principle and implement it consistently for 30 days. Track how it feels to own your power. Instead of apologizing for it, start small. Say thank you instead of deflecting compliments. Set one boundary without over-explaining. Take leadership in one situation where you normally stay quiet. Notice the resistance, both internal and external. Your own discomfort and other people's reactions are signs that you're breaking old patterns. Document the results. How do people actually respond when you own your strength? Most of the time, you'll find they respect you more, not less. Your strength is not something to apologize for, it's something to be responsible for. Right now, identify one area where you've been dimming your light to make others comfortable. Commit to changing that this week. Tell me in the comments, what's one strength you've been apologizing for that you're ready to own? Subscribe if you're done shrinking yourself to fit other people's comfort zones. Next week, how to handle the pushback when you stop apologizing. for being strong. The world needs your strength. Stop hiding it. Start using it. Own your power without apology.